The idea of throwing a party in honor of Dr. Jones's 100th birthday was a natural outgrowth of the meeting of the Jones Institute Foundation Board in New York and its expanded mandate to include the leaders in reproductive medicine from throughout the country, consistent with the broader role that the Jones Institute Foundation of sponsoring the best research in the country and promoting excellence in the field. So naturally, we would be gathered here, and this was the fitting moment, even though the birthday was in December, to celebrate Dr. Howard's 100th birthday. We have arranged the dinner so that the first order of business is to hear from Dr. Jones himself. And I will return for some closing remarks and a toast after the main course. Dr. Howard Jones.
Thank you very much indeed, Howard. The invitation to this affair said that it was a salute to Howard Jones. So Howard Jones, therefore, has the opportunity to return that salute. And first of all, to Howard and Abby for being the gracious host at this once-in-a-lifetime affair. I salute you. The Milsteins, the Milstein family for 3 generations has been well known for its support of the arts and sciences and in an effort to make the world a better place. And the world appreciates that and thanks you for that. Tonight's kind of a medical night. And the Milstein name is, of course, very prominent in the field of medicine, supporting activities of all kinds, in bricks and mortar and in kind. But we need to narrow it a little bit more, and the Milstein name is associated with blood, that Howard's already mentioned, and skin, and reproduction. And I would like to spend a time or two, minute or two, talking about reproduction and the role that the new kid on the block plays. The new kid on the block being the new foundation that Howard referred to, and of which he's chairman. Well, I've talked about research, and I've talked about strings that need to be finished and done away with. And I would like to close by reading a poem of my professor of English. I heard him read this 80 years ago when I was a student at Amherst College. He seemed to write poems that would be suitable for almost any occasion. And I think he has one that suits this occasion, and I would like to close by reading that. Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bell a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. My own miles are limited, but I hope there are those in this room and elsewhere who will spend some of their miles going with Howard Milstein and the Mary Davies and the board to make IVF more efficient, to make it available to all those who need it without any strings attached. And thank you for listening, and thank you for being here.
Good evening. My name is Abby Milstein. Um, we all associate birthdays with gifts. And in this case, our two birthday celebrants, Dr. Howard and my Howard, collaborated to give me the most priceless gift. So I ask you all to please join me in a toast with gratitude and love to my two heroes, our two Howards, Howard Jones and Howard Milstein.
We heard earlier Dr. Howard recite Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. I think it's fitting at an evening like this, when prose alone may not suffice, to refer to poetry. As Louis Pasteur once said, chance favors the prepared mind. Due to an early retirement policy at Hopkins, Dr. Howard Jones and Dr. Georgiana Jones found their way to a new institution in Virginia, where their longtime friend, Dr. Mason Andrews, had convinced them to lead the reproductive medicine area at the new EVMS. But as chance would have it, they went down another road. As they were unpacking their boxes on the front lawn and moving into their new home in Norfolk, a reporter appeared and asked about the new baby that had been born, the first of its kind by in vitro fertilization in England, and asked what would it take for this to be done here in Norfolk. And Dr. Howard responded, it would just take a little money. And that ran in the next day in the local newspaper. And my friends, the Wangers, Liza and Stephen, read the article. And they placed a call to Dr. Jones and said, well, how much is a little? And by the time it was done, a new initiative had taken form at EVMS in the Jones Institute. This began a new journey down a new path. There is another Robert Frost poem that captures the miraculous path that Howard and Georgiana Jones pursued. It ends, I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the road less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. And truly, that difference is represented worldwide by some approximately 6 million children that would not otherwise be here. The medical techniques that were perfected at the Jones Institute and the fellows and doctors who were trained there have taken this knowledge to serve mankind. This is truly making a difference. And I could go on and on with all the superlatives, some of which I discussed at the board meeting this afternoon, describing Dr. Howard Jones. Suffice it to say that it's been my privilege over these many years to chair the foundation and to support in some small way the nobility of purpose, the standards of excellence, the 24/7 dedication that has been a beacon to all of us. And I found another poem that I think captures this. The sentiment, thought about stopping by woods on a snowy evening, thought about the road not taken. But this is Ulysses by Alfred Lord Tennyson, excerpted from the end. Old age hath yet his honor and his toil. Some work of noble note may yet be done, not unbecoming men that strove with gods. The lights begin to twinkle from the rocks, the long day wanes, the slow moon climbs, the deep moans round with many voices. Come, my friends, 'tis not too late to seek a newer world. Push off, and sitting well in order, smite the sounding furrows, for my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset and the baths of all the western stars. It may be that the gulfs will wash us down. It may be we shall touch the happy isles and see the great Achilles whom we knew. Though much is taken, much abides, and though we are not now that strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are, we are. One equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. And so, Dr. Howard, I think we can drink a toast to you.
Thank you very much, Howard, for a wonderful occasion. My words beyond that fail. Thank you. Right through. Right through.